This is a quick list for you to consider. If you're into Tales from the Crypt, you might want to check out these other shows. Hey, we all love Tales from the Crypt, right? Who doesn't? Just as much as I love seeing the goofy little ghoul hopping out of a coffin, laughing in my face while he slimes the screen, there are other shows just as memorable as Tales from the Crypt. And don't get me wrong, this is by no way me saying I don't like Tales from the Crypt. I love Tales from the Crypt. What I'm saying is there's more to anthology, horror and sci-fi anthology, than just Tales from the Crypt. Now, of course, there's the no-brainer. Everybody knows this one, Tales from the Dark Side. Awesome show. But you know, when they made this show, the creator, he got pissed off. He was like, yo, nobody gives us any kind of props for these monsters and creatures we're making. Because, you know, he had Savini doing creatures. Like, you seen the episode In the Closet where you got the little gross... You know what that thing always looked like to me was one of those, I think it's Dungeons and Dragon goblin toys. Anyways. But he said, you know what, screw this. Let's stop this show. Let's stop making Tales from the Dark Side. And 3 months later, they were already in production for another show. And that show was called Monsters. And why was it called Monsters? It's because he wanted to focus on creature effects and monsters. And then also he wanted to get some props. I'm not sure if he ever did, because people don't talk about monsters nearly as much as Tales from the Dark Side or even Tales from the Crypt for that matter. But I will say Monsters is starting to get love nowadays. And so I love that. I love seeing that. They did just recently repress an Australian version of the DVD set, and I just got it. It's cool, I guess. It's the same shit that's on the American one, which is out of print. Everybody is going crazy over that one, by the way. But it's a great show all the same. You got to check that out. Monsters. You can watch it on Tubi. You can buy the new DVD set that just came out again. Well, here's one you need to check out. Amazing Stories. If you like the high production value of Tales from the Crypt, because let's face it, that's one of the highest production value anthologies there are out there. Well, when Amazing Stories came out, I was a child, and it was, I think, 1985 to 1987. I thought these were movies when I watched them. Like Go to the Head of the Class with Christopher Lloyd. I thought this was a movie when I was a kid, because it is movie quality. It's movie level, and the storytelling is movie quality. Another thing that this Amazing Stories gave us was an episode called Miscalculation, which is based on a story called Miscalculation from the magazine Weird Science. And that same story later on inspired a movie called Weird Science. I know it's kind of convoluted. In the story Miscalculation, by the way, how they make the women come to life, well, this fella here slings his goo on the magazine pages. There might be some subtext there. You like Amazing Stories? No? Yes? No? There's another one. I could go on and on about it. I'm not going to. Another series you need to check out is The Hitchhiker. I have not yet sat through the whole series. I'm still working on it. It's been one I kind of been putting off because I didn't grow up with it. But one episode I saw on a recommendation of a friend of mine it's called OD Feeling, and I think it has Sandra Bernhard, overdubbed voice, by the way. Some guy is doing her voice. And I think Gene Simmons is it. Oh, you know who the killer in this episode is? A bag of killer drugs. I wonder what inspired this episode. Anyways, The Hitchhiker. Although this is not one that I'm big on, the few episodes I've seen, really good, and I have been meaning to finish it. I will get there, but you need to check that out too. Just because I haven't seen them all doesn't mean I can't recommend it, okay? So shut up. Another amazing series that you need to check out would be, and this one I wish they hadn't canceled it. It was more current. It's 2017's Dimension 404, which is kind of more like, it's like a parody of Black Mirror. And I love Black Mirror. You know, it's hit or miss like all anthologies, but Dimension 404, pretty damn good. There's a couple of standout episodes. One of them, I can't remember the name off top, but it's about this girl who's like traveling through time with like a superhero. Come on, I don't remember the names of all. You know how many anthology episodes I've watched in my life? Approximately all of them. So, except for Hitchhiker. And another current one you might dig, Love, Death, and Robots, which was originally going to be a spin-off of Heavy Metal, if you are familiar with the old magazine and also movie. And when you watch it, you can really get the vibe of it actually was going to be a spinoff of Heavy Metal, but they couldn't get the rights to the name, which is often the case with these anthologies. That's how Tales from the Dark Side is called Tales from the Dark Side, because it was supposed to be a television show version of Creep Show, but then the movie. But Creep Show was supposed to be the movie version of Tales from the Crypt, the comic. But so it's always rights issues that gets in the way on these things. But speaking of Creep Show, since I brought that up, that's another one. It's new. They didn't get a new season this year, so I think that might be canceled. And although every episode is not necessarily a winner, it is still a great series. And my only gripe here is the Creep is a little too reminiscent of, I guess, the Crypt Keeper, and that's intentional. There's, it's in the DNA, but he's silent. So I think there might have been some kind of contractual thing where they're like, you can't make him cackle. You can't make him go and sling his goop on the screen. And they were like, that's a bet. And so they didn't do it. But another one you should check out, aside from Creep Show, the Ray Bradbury Theater. This show is insane. Now, it may not necessarily be good. I love Ray Bradbury's writing. He's written a lot of great stories. But God damn, if he didn't somehow screw this one up, because every episode, well, most episodes kind of leave me scratching my head, but it's still fun to watch. But the series is such a question mark. Some episodes are really good, and some are just, they don't go anywhere. They don't know what message they're trying to give you. So they're very unguided in that sense. But despite this, you got great episodes that don't make sense, like one starring Drew Barrymore as a kid who likes reading Tales from the Crypt. But you know what I've never seen is an issue of Tales from the Crypt with two covers like this. Can somebody confirm that for me? I get what they were doing. It's a prop, but it's such a weird choice, because maybe they just couldn't show an advertisement on the back. But at the same time, like, there's types of advertisements you could show on back, or even just make a fake advertisement. Somebody just had some covers laying around and said, glue these together. Anyways, Ray Bradbury Theater, very good. Masters of Horror, and my favorite episode is called The Washingtonians, and it's about how, like, George Washington and the early politicians are cannibals. Matter of fact, thinking about it, I don't think there's anything poetic about it. I don't think that's a metaphor at all. I think it's just being straight up telling us what it is. But all the same, great series. Another one you need to check out, Electric Dreams, based on the works of Philip K. Dick. You know him. You know who he is. He wrote a ton of stories, one of which inspired Total Recall. And I think another one inspired, Minority Report is one. And then another one would be, doesn't matter. You need to watch this show. Oh, here's one. I almost forgot to mention it. Perversions of Science. You like Tales from the Crypt, you need to watch Perversions of Science. Made by the same people. Based on the same EC Comics. It's got the same production team. All in all, it's basically Tales from the Crypt. The only difference is, instead of a shriveled up little dead midget laughing in your face and telling shitty puns, now you got a metallic robot that's very busty telling even worse jokes. It's kind of an even trade-off, really. And you got to watch it. It only got a release in Japan on DVD. I got it. I love it. I think you can find it on Internet Archive and YouTube if you want to watch it. With most of these, by the way, just seek them out. I'm not sure where to watch all of this stuff. I own them. I would love to be like, go here. But by the time someone sees this video in a year, they're going to be like, hey, it's not there anymore. So just look it up on your Googles. I'm done rambling for now. That's enough. You guys, I'll be back. Come back and watch my videos. All right, bye.